it's really hard because when you say these things out loud, like, oh yes, the Supreme Court of the United States decided to infringe upon 180 million people's right to free speech, um, because they just decided that there was national security. And you're like, okay, well, what's national security? Well, actually, they didn't look into it. Oh, okay. So what about, is it stealing our data? No, that's not it, because other companies do that too, like Temu and Shein and Wish and even Facebook and other meta shit, right? I'm like, okay, so why is it? And then they say, oh, because they want to control the propaganda. And you want to control the what? The propaganda. And you say these things out loud, and it makes you feel crazy because of how sci-fi and how dystopian. Like, when I say these things out loud, I feel like I'm talking about a story, right? Like 1984, Fahrenheit 451, Handmaid's Tale, Parable of the Sower. Like, these things used to only exist in sci-fi, but that was the thing about sci-fi and dystopian novels, is that they would see what happened in the present of when they were writing these things and extrapolate, okay, what happens when it gets worse, when no one steps in, or what's going on in another country where it is worse and now it's affecting white people. And that's where we're at. And I don't know, I'm still processing, and I understand what's happening. Like, okay, our government is corrupt. We have fascism in the United States, very blatantly fascism. They're trying to censor books. They have censored what you can and cannot say in schools. They're trying to defund public education. And where do you go with that? How do you fight back with that when you can't afford food, you can't afford heat, you can't afford houses or cars or gas? All these things just like pile up on each other, and I don't understand, because in my head I'm like, well, if I was running a country, I would fully invest in the bread and circuses so no one cares what I'm doing. If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't do this. If I was a politician, I would. But you have to remember that these are not nice people. These are, like, I was watching Emma, and Mrs. Weston said to Emma, don't let your good nature fool you, or like to the bad nature of others. I'm like, okay, so like all of you who are thinking the positive sides of things, and me too, don't let your good nature keep you blind to the bad nature of others. This is some bullshit. Ugh! So annoying. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go finish cleaning my house and just preparing stuff in my real life.